Bonjour, friends, and welcome to Paris.
I never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. It's all the things you know.
Paris is a city made for walking, but not every walk needs open skies. Sometimes it rains. Sometimes it's cold. Sometimes the city feels loud and rushed, and you just want to slow things down. That's when Paris reveals one of its best-kept secrets. Hidden behind ordinary doors and between busy streets are the covered passages of Paris. Elegant glass-roofed walkways where time feels softer, footsteps slow down, and the city breathes differently. Today, we're exploring these historic passages, places where Parisians once shopped. To understand the covered passages, you have to go back to a very different Paris. In the late 18th and early 19th centuries, the streets were narrow, muddy, and crowded with horse-drawn carriages. Shopping outdoors meant dealing with rain, dirt, and noise. Wealthy Parisians wanted comfort, light, and elegance. The solution was revolutionary at the time. Covered passages, built mainly on the right bank. These arcades combined iron frameworks, glass ceilings, and tiled floors. They created sheltered streets filled with bookstores, cafés, tailors, toy shops, and small boutiques. Gaslighting made them glow at night, turning them into lively social spaces long after sunset. By the 1850s, Paris had around 150 covered passages. But as department stores rose and Baron Haussmann reshaped the city with wide boulevards, many passages were destroyed or forgotten. Today, only a few dozen remain, and each one tells a piece of Paris's story. Now, our walk begins near the Palais Royal, where the concept of the passage truly took off. This area was once one of the most fashionable parts of the city, filled with theaters, cafes, and noble residences. It's no coincidence that some of the most beautiful passages are clustered here. First, we went to Galerie Vivienne. Built in 1823, Galerie Vivienne was designed with elegance in mind. The moment you step inside, everything slows down. The mosaic floors catch the light. The arches frame the walkway perfectly. It feels calm, refined, almost cinematic. This was luxury shopping in the 19th century, a place meant for an elite crowd. Even today, it remains one of the most beautiful passages in Paris and one of the most photographed. It reminds you that shopping here was once an experience, not a task. Just next door, we stepped into Galerie Colbert. It's quieter than Vivienne and feels more formal. The grand rotunda draws your eyes upward, and the symmetry gives the space a dignified presence. It never became a major shopping destination, but architecturally, it's stunning. This is a place to pause, look up, and simply appreciate the design. From there, we headed toward the Grands Boulevards and entered Passage des Panoramas. Built in 1799, it's the oldest covered passage in Paris, and you can feel its age in the best way. It's narrower, busier, and full of movement. Once famous for panoramic paintings, it later became a hub for stamp collectors and print sellers. Even today, philatelic shops line the passage. Restaurants spill sound and energy into the space. It's crowded, a little chaotic, and very alive. This passage feels like Paris in motion. Crossing the boulevard, we arrived at Passage Jouffroy. Built in the 1840s, this passage feels brighter and more open. Made entirely of iron and glass, it was a technical innovation at the time. Toy shops, bookstores, cafés, and the exit of the Grevin Wax Museum give it a playful, curious atmosphere. It invites you to explore, not rush through. Right nearby, we slipped into Passage Verdeau. Everything slows down here. Antique shops, art dealers, and old bookshops line the walls. The light feels softer, the mood quieter. This is the kind of place where browsing feels natural, where every shop asks you to look a little closer. Later, we walked through Passage Choiseul. Long and straight, it's one of the longest covered passages in Paris. Restaurants, bookstores, stationery shops, and everyday businesses fill the space. Apartments sit above the shops, reminding us that these passages were once part of daily life, not tourist stops. Around lunchtime, it's full of locals passing through or grabbing a quick meal. We ended our walk at Passage du Grand Cerf. Built in 1825, its high glass roof fills the space with light. Inside are small artisan shops, working with wood, leather, paper, and metal. It shows how Paris's passages still survive today, keeping their original soul. Thanks for walking with us. I hope you liked the video, and please subscribe our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.